Now we're ready to mix. Just with a spoon, we just are going to pour. Make a hole in the middle so that it can get right down to the bottom and just not lie at the top. Dump it in all at once. Now the cooking term is stir. Stir it together. This is stir. I like to add the word fold. Fold means an up and over motion like this. And in this way your spoon will get down to the bottom and pick up any dry things, which will get up to the top till we get this mixed just until the flour is all moist. This is called a batter. This is a thick batter. Batters can be thin batters which pour. This one would have a little trouble pouring, but I wouldn't want to put my hands into it. If I could put my hands into it, it would be called a dough. I don't see any dry. Now, spoon is the next word. Spoon. There's a spoon, but the spoon I'm talking about is a cooking term. Spoon the batter into the muffin tins, filling them 3/4 full. So, you get after a while, you get to know how much batter can be put on your spoon. And if I gauge it right, this particular recipe and most recipes will come out to pretty well the dozen or the 2 dozen that the recipe calls for. Now I have a little bit of batter left over here, so I didn't do it just as well, but this one could use a little more. It's not the best to have to go back and put batter in because sometimes you get a funny little knob on the top of your muffins when you do that. But I'm not going to waste the batter either because I'm not leaving a whole half a muffin in the bowl. Supposing you didn't have quite enough for the 12 muffins, just fill the empty ones with a little bit of water so it doesn't warp your pans. That's all you need to do. Okay, I'm popped them in the oven. Got the ovens all hot, preheated. Don't open your oven door until you get here, and then be prepared to put it in. Get the oven door closed as quickly as possible. And set our timer. We'll set our timer for approximately 12 minutes. Sometimes just having to get out the flour tins and the baking soda and the baking powder, it's easier to have a mix ready. But this is a ready mix that we have, which is a whole wheat flour. This recipe is in the book that we prepared for you too, in your How to Cook book. So it's a homemade muffin mix all ready to go. So we've decided we make some more muffins. We'll just show you how I can finish them up. I need, out of this mix then, I need 2 cups of mix. And in here we have the skim milk powder, we have the baking powder, it has to be, and the all the other ingredients, the bran, the whole wheat flour that's in here. And there are variations in your recipe. Sometimes you can use rolled oats and other things, but your whole mix will be like that. This is the disadvantage of having a mix. So 2 cups of mix. Now, that part of it's all done. This is where the quickness comes in. The rest of it I just have to finish. So I have 2/3 of a cup of water because the milk is already in there, and 1/3 of a cup of oil, and I'll just use the same cup. This is good management, you know. Use your same utensils over again when you can, because 2/3 and 1/3 make a cup, and that's what I have. 2/3 of water and 1/3 of our liquid oil. And into that we whip our egg. We grab the beater, beat it all up. Now, let's do something with them though. I had some frozen blueberries in the freezer, some maybe that we picked last summer when we were up around the northern Ontario and picked some blueberries. Tucked them in my freezer for just times like this. Let's make blueberry muffins. I'll put them in though with the dry ingredients. And just mix them around. Now our procedure is exactly the same, the muffin method. Make a hole. And mix. One thing I like to do with this muffin mix, though, is let it sit just for a tiny little bit before we spoon it in, because the flour will absorb a little bit. So I won't be in too big a hurry. See, that batter looks a little different than the brand, doesn't it? They all look different, and that's why you want to follow your recipes. Get to know the size of your muffin tins, get to know the way you measure, and you'll soon get to recognize whether recipes are good recipes, whether they're going to work for you or not. Spoon it into the muffin tins. I may be short. I've got one left over, so I don't want to burn it, so I'm going to put a little bit of water in it. And take it to the oven, same temperature, 375 for 12 to 15 minutes. Pop it in. And while we're here, we'll have a look at the brand. Whoops. I don't know whether you saw that or not, but when I touched the top, my finger went right down with an indent and it didn't pop back. So they certainly weren't ready to come out. Besides that, the bell hasn't rung yet. I'm going to set the bell then for a little bit longer, because I know that they won't be ready. So we'll set it for about 5 minutes. When you are given a range of times, always start out at the shortest time first and check. Then put it on for more time if necessary. We have one more way we're going to show you to do some muffins. And this is the easiest and fastest way of all, if you have the storage in your fridge. This is a recipe that makes 5 dozen muffins in a little bigger container than this. Then you can store them in your fridge. These are ever-ready oat bran muffins. I put another recipe in your book that is called wheat germ banana muffins, that is exactly the same method. We make them up exactly the way we did before with the muffin method. The dry things go in one bowl and the wet things go in another. You mix them, except you're handling large quantities. Use any big bowl you have, or a big soup kettle, or whatever you can to mix them up. Then store them in your fridge just in this form. This is the fastest and easiest way to make muffins. The longer that your muffin mix is in the fridge, you'll find that it gets darker and darker across the top. Don't worry about it, stir it up. It's just the baking soda that's in it, and it doesn't hurt it one speck. We can put these will take a little longer because they're cold out of the fridge, so the cooking time on these is 20 minutes to 25 minutes instead of 15 to 20, and it's just because they're a cold batter that's come out of the fridge. So I'll pop these in the oven. And there went my dinger for the bran muffin, so let's have a test now and see how they are. A test for doneness is to touch your finger on the top, and if it springs back like a sponge, then they're done. If you wait until you stick a toothpick or something down in them, which some people try to do, that's a cake test, but not cookies or muffins. Muffins, if you wait until a toothpick is dry coming out, you've overcooked them and you'll have dry muffins. The timer went. I think they're done. We'll get rid of these, but we'll get the oven door closed as fast as we can because we don't want to lose heat for the other ones. The muffins that are out of the oven now, we want to let them sit for 2 or 3 minutes, just enough time to let the steam out of them. If we try to tip them now, they're going to break apart because there's too much steam in them. But if we leave them too long, they're going to stick. So try and remember, just a couple of minutes or 3 minutes, 5 at the most, to give them a chance to let the steam escape. I think these look as if they feel as if they're cool enough for tipping. So take a knife just a very gently knife, and do a little test. Pull them around and give them a little tip. Good. Look at the way they just popped out. So I've hit it exactly right. If they wouldn't, if they feel as if they're sticking, then they haven't let the steam out enough. Sometimes you have to go around and loosen them a little bit more, but you can get them. This is a good recipe. They pop. I usually just leave them like that for a while, or we can move them. These are cool enough that we can move them right onto a cooling rack. And then we can get busy washing up our containers. I think I still have a little bit more time for these others. And I don't want to touch them because when they're rising, it's a very critical stage in baking to not open the oven door. So I've got 5 more minutes, and I think they will take 5 more minutes. These are the 3 different ways to make muffins that we did just a few moments ago, and here they are all out of the oven. This is the bran muffin made completely from scratch. That's what they look like inside. This is the muffin, which is the whole wheat muffin mix that we stored in a container, and all you had to do was mix up the liquid ingredients, throw in whatever you wanted in the way of a banana or grated carrot or blueberries, and that's what they look inside. And this is the ready mix batter that was in the refrigerator. All we had to do was put it in the muffin pans and put it in the oven, and there we are. 3 different ways to have muffins ready whenever we need them. For snacks, breakfast, bedtime snacks, lunch boxes, little gems.